they really think they're an expert in this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Hello. Hello, GB Patriot and Snowdrop BP and Lee Robinson, Jill Blanc, Pam Stewart, Mystica Rose, who is a member. Video coming soon. Miss Mystica, Ingrid, and Adele, Cherish, Brittany, Yolanda, Nicole. Yes, Otis is happy. I am home. He was just lying here asleep, and my husband just came home, and so he's probably getting ready to go out. Oh, 1 second, I've got to take a quick phone call. Yes. Hi, Lizzie. Thank you, Otis. I'm sure he'll be up here in a second. He ran downstairs because my husband came home. So yes, we're back together. Otis is happy. He is just, if you saw the video, then you know. He is such a sweetheart. I couldn't believe after I came back, I had to leave again because I booked a job, which was so much fun. But I'm so glad to be back. So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. New York City's in the house, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes. Okay. So, thank you for being here, everyone. We are going to talk about a couple of things, and I have some really good information. I have been blessed to meet a very special person, a very special person that has really just given me a lot of information that my like mind is like so as I'm speaking with you all now, I'm trying to process this information that I just heard by this special person that I'm going to tell you who it is cuz I'm going to tell you who it is. But I don't think we know how bad all of this really is. I mean, I don't know that I can say bad, but I don't think we really truly understand the depths of the things that are happening or that has been revealed about, or the things we know, not revealed, but the things that we do know about um, Meghan Markle. But we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of things, and you all are the first to hear me talk about it because I've never said these things that I'm going to say today in this live. Um, I am really just trying to process some things, but I am going to talk to you all about it. But before I do that, if you are here, please go ahead and hit that like button, especially today. Hit that like button. Hit that like button today. I was a little out of my rhythm whenever I travel. I'm caught up in doing the things that I'm doing while traveling, so it's a lot more difficult to get my videos out in the way that I'm used to when I'm at home and I'm working and doing my thing. So I'm back in my rhythm slowly but surely, but it's been difficult because I was away for a couple of months. So if you could just hit that like button for this live, that would be great. Um, and if you are wanting to just be a part of the family of things to know about my travels, I'm actually putting together my next video for my members. I discuss and show videos from all of my travel of when I've gone abroad and um, things that I did with my son and my family. My husband and my daughter ended up coming out later to Germany, so I spent a little bit of that time with them. So I put that all in a video, different videos. So if you like to, be a part of that, to see those videos, join my members. You can join it right here on YouTube, or you can join it on Patreon. The Patreon usually has just a little bit more. I've been slacking a little bit last couple of months because it's been very crazy busy, but um, uh, nonetheless, it's pretty much the same content. And if you're on Facebook, please watch me on Facebook because I do put out just videos on my relationship with Otis, my dog. And some of you do know that ich spreche Deutsch, and I do have a German channel. There are some videos there. There's no new videos because I went out of the country, and so I'll be posting some videos there as well. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. Oh, and thanks so much for your comments, Christine Gilbert, about my time with Dan Wooten. I'm on his show every week on Wednesdays. So if you like me seeing me there, let Dan know. I appreciate that very much. Yes, Dan's great. I met Dan for the first time last year at Lady C's. And it was so much fun, even this year, meeting him again because we already knew each other. And so I'm developing these friendships. Of course, you all know that I know Lady C, and she hosted me and my friend JD. She cooked for us. I was there with her for a couple of days at her castle, and she was a great hostess. The woman can cook. I'm telling you, the woman knows how to throw down. And it's just so wonderful to have these relationships and to meet so many people from having my YouTube channel. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the other person that I met today, who I've been in touch with for a while, but finally I'm going to let you know who that is, and you're going to learn about some new things today. And it's just really just a little bit because there's so much. There's so much. But very, very happy to yes, Lady C cooks. Oh yeah, she cooks. She cooked JD and I shepherd's pie. She cooked us a traditional English breakfast. And there's video of all of this on my members channel. I did like a whole video inside the castle. I gave a room tour of my room at Lady C's castle because we had our own rooms. I gave a tour of just the stuff that I did with her, the food she cooked. So there's some nice content there if you want to check it out. And um, yeah, you can see all of that. And what I appreciate about Lady C is in the very beginning when I was just a small channel, she hadn't started her channel yet, I don't think. But she came on my channel and she allowed me to interview her. And she didn't have this big ego about letting some small YouTuber interview her, you know? And she's come on every single time I've asked her for an interview, every single time. And there are literally people that that I have asked to come on my channel who ignore me. And to each his own. You're fine to do that. But the only reason why they're doing it is because they're now bigger. And so they don't want to associate. Now my channel has grown. They're not much bigger than me. And yet they're too good for their own britches. And they're really not Mexiteer people. They're basically people that talk about Meghan and Harry and other things. Like, they're, it's but it amazes me how people can get so big-headed and uppity when they start to see a little bit of success. And these are people that I've done commentary with on other YouTubers' channels that won't even acknowledge my requests anymore. But the thing about Lady C is how she was just so humble from the very beginning and came on my channel and was so and treated me and my friend that she did not know to her home, cooked for us, and took me to a very, you hear me, a very expensive private club in London. Drove me there. I'll never forget the car ride. It was raining and I was scared. I was like, and we were driving on the left-hand side of the road. Now, look. Every time I'm in London and people are driving on the left-hand side of the road and the steering wheel is on the right-hand passenger side of the vehicle, I am in a twilight zone of craziness in my head. I just can't wrap my head around it. But she took me and treated me to a very expensive place where you have to dress up, you have to wear a nice tie. Like, all this is in my video that I put on my members channel. So I'm just saying all this to say that if someone with the history, the success, the um repertoire of bodies of work of the woman, Lady C, if she can be so humble and to show me, an unknown YouTuber, uh, all of these things, what is it that about some people that get a YouTube channel, they get a little bit of success, f- they just become big-headed and egotistical for what? It's like, check yourself, okay? Check yourself is what I say. It's just, I mean, I even watch I get their videos. I'm just like, really? Like, I don't know. I just do not like, because it's almost like it's kind of like the Meghan thing. That's exactly what Meghan Markle has done. She's gotten in herself in a position where she's in these circles of very influential people. Well, not so much now, but like, she did marry into the British royal family. Okay, you got to give that to the girl. And her ego just went so big in her head that she can't even see straight. She can't even comprehend her own existence anymore because it's gone to her head in a very big way. Thank you, honey. Honesty and truth, for your super chat. I will read that here. Give me a second. Um, And if someone like Lady C can be like that, I just don't have the tolerance for these people that get YouTube channels that they're connected now with bigger brands and they feel like they don't need to respond. They're too good. Well, don't talk about Meghan Markle because you're acting just like Meghan Markle. You're becoming the symptom of what a Meghan Markle person is. At least have the decency to respond and say, I'm sorry, I can't, or whatever. I'm fine with that. But just to ignore someone who you previously didn't ignore, and now that you're all big, it's just like a lot of this drama stuff happening. And I have to just like, okay, I'm just not, I don't know, processing it in the way that I should. I should just ignore it, but it just gets to me. I think that's why I speak about Meghan, because it's like the things that this woman has done, it gets to me. And I like want to call it out. It's just, but let's just read here what Miss Honesty and Truth had to say. So she's saying, or he, it's not racist to know the following things about a member of the royal family: your lineage, your ethnicity, your religion, your purpose of your work with a royal title. Let us hear it all, Miss Markle. Let us hear it all, Miss Markle. Okay, yeah, let's hear it all. It's not racist to know these things. There are tribes of people that have these things that they need to, uh, you know, acknowledge. I don't know. Megan just seems like somebody that wants to call out people for being racist because they have these things that they recognize. And yeah, she's just, a piece of work in many ways, in many ways. So for some of you who have just joined me, I am going to give you a little bit of tidbit information that I have not spoken about on my channel. someone who I've been in touch with that knows Meghan Markle very well that I'm going to be talking about um, in a little bit. So stay tuned. Okay. I I am the YouTube sensation. Yes, well, that's what Dan Wooten says, and I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. You guys have all changed my life in so many ways, but it truly is my passion, the things that I speak about, and I think in a way that is not just frivolous talk, but meaningful and teachable. I always want to connect in a way that's meaningful. Sometimes I deviate from it. I know I get caught up in the moment, but really, from the very beginning, it's all about teachable moments. It's always about calling out and making something, so that we can learn from it, be better from it, and just try to find purpose in all of this craziness that we talk about. Um, yeah. So what I want to talk to y'all about today is first, so Prince Andrew, I wanted to mention that I'm going to be doing a video. It's going to be about Prince Andrew and his connection to Meghan Markle. And there's some things that we've heard about before. However, Uh, I think with the potential release, but now we've since heard, because I just did a live with Royal Mess, that there's this Clinton judge who has stopped the release of these documents of Epstein. And because there was an article that came out today talking about how Prince Andrew needs to be prepare himself, because there's some information that's going to be coming out. Now, while some of this information or this information has been postponed or stopped by this Clinton judge, does not mean that it won't come out. But I think that there are so many people involved in the things around Epstein, people in very high positions, that it's not going to be an easy process. They're trying to suppress it. And I think that is because, yeah, they're trying to protect people, of course. That's obvious. But I think there is a lot to say about Meghan and her connection to this. Now, that will be in my video that is going to be coming. But that news about the Clinton judge that came out today, that just kind of deflated some things that I was talking about in my video. So I kind of got to make some adjustments, and I will be talking about it. Now, I do also want to talk about, hold on one second. Yes. I want to talk about Prince William as well. Now, there are, to me, what it looks like, the news media in England is really starting to give Prince William a lot of negative headlines, a lot of negative headlines. And I think it's because William is going up against the king with some things. I think there's some back and forth, some like butting of heads of the current king, the future king. We know Harry is trying to get back into the royal fold. William is like, not with that woman. I don't trust my own brother anymore. Like, there's some things that are preventing William from really going along with some things that are in the works now around, I believe, Harry. And so I think this is why we're seeing some of these negative headlines. And, I don't, it's just a lot of politics are being played out right now. And I just think it's terrible. I think what you have to see that is happening with Harry right now, especially, is that it doesn't look like he and Meghan are together anymore. Okay, let's just understand. Let's just understand that that relationship is no longer, although we are not updated about the current status of the relationship. All signs point to that. And at some point there is going to be an announcement. There's just going to be an announcement, and that is to be expected. Um, and I think we have to understand that Harry thinks that he can get back into the royal fold, perhaps because Meghan and he are not like they were, but that's just not the case when it comes to William. Because Harry has done some bad things. He's done some really bad things that William just does not trust him anymore. So I can't blame him for that. I cannot blame him for that. All right. Now, let's just talk about Meghan Markle really quickly. And folks, so what I want to mention, well, let me just first update you all about what happened last Thursday, because I was not on my live last Thursday, and I don't know why it slipped my mind, but I flew out of Germany on Thursday, and I completely forgot to mention to my guest that day, which was supposed to be Taz, according to Taz, that I don't know why my dates were just screwed up. So I did not have my interview last week with Taz, according to Taz. So that's going to be next week. Okay, I will be doing that next week. But I apologize for not putting out a notice on that, because I had so much going on, and I just had to take care of my travel arrangements. Okay. I see another one. Oh, there's another super sticker from V Queenie. Thank you so much. Um, we appreciate the hard work you put into your videos. Thank you all. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate you saying that, V Queenie. I appreciate that very much. And just to update you all, just on some things before I get into my story about this Meghan Markle person that I know, that is just like before I came to this live just now, I just got some information that has really like I'm learning things that have really given me a lot of pause for perspection and to think. But I'm at a point now, and I'm just going to take a couple minutes to do this because it is a very significant part of my life. I had a grant for my charity that I lost, that was taken away from me. This was my third year, and they just took it away. Like the day I got the email, July 7th, was the day the contract for that grant ended. This all happened when I was in Germany. Can you imagine how upsetting that is for me, considering there are plans in the works, or there were plans in the works. There are people on the payroll. Like there's so much going on that I'm doing, and that happened. And the reason that it happened, it's very targeted, in a very meaningful way, targeted. And I don't care what anybody says, because if you know the facts of the situation, you would look at it as being targeted as well, and very vindictive by the grantor, who is the city of Columbus, where I live. And it has put everything in chaos with my charity right now. And I'm not happy about it. And it has just put me in a special place mentally. So, your support for my charity is very much appreciated, only because of what's been going on with that. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And that's what I've been dealing with. Okay. Now, the other thing is, um, the work that I am doing on my YouTube channel. I for these lives, I really want these lives to be like this chance, or this opportunity, where we can come together and just talk about things that have been happening in the news that I haven't really been able to do a video on. I may have more time now because of my charity issue, But nonetheless, a time for us to connect, and you can ask questions and we can kind of meet here for some lives every Thursday. Okay. So with that out the way, so what I wanted to um, say about this friend, someone that I'm speaking to, and I find it to be very enlightening for me because I've been talking about so much that you assume and you allege and you kind of put out information and you try to read between the articles and you give assessments based on the information that you know, but a lot of it has been validated. A lot of it has been validated today. um yeah, so some of you, and the reason why I want to speak about this is because we have to understand that people that were in Meghan Markle's life did not sign up to be immediately recognized or to have their lives bombarded by people and to um, just have their lives turned upside down. Um, but Meghan has always essentially wanted this for herself. She's wanted this kind of a life. And we've all talked about it because we've seen what she's done with Harry and how she came into Harry's life and turned his world upside down, where he has pretty much lost so much already. But what we have to understand is the history that Meghan has carried with her before she met Harry that has led her to this point in her life right now. Okay. Um, so I have been speaking with a very dear friend of Meghan Markle's for she was friends with for 30 years. And a lot of you already know about her. She's done a couple of interviews. Um, her friend from when she was in kindergarten, her friend Nanaki. And I have been in touch with her and just talking with her about her life and her friendship with Meghan. And she's been very to herself, like she hasn't talked a lot. I think she gave one interview, and there's also another friend that I think gets mixed up with Nanaki, and is Meghan's friend Susie that she still has. But Nanaki has been very mum about a lot of things that she could have easily talked about. This is a woman who is so genuine and thoughtful and who really valued her friendship with Meghan very much. And I just find her to be just a very kind woman who had an extraordinary relationship at one time with someone she thought was a very good friend, but realizing perhaps maybe the signs were always there for Meghan to be who she is, who we all see her to be today. And I think when someone like Nanaki is so quiet in terms of the things that she's saying and doing, she's really a very holistic person, very, uh, I think, spiritual kind of a person that has been given a hard time by some people. But you almost wish that she never would have encountered someone like a Meghan, because the friendship, I believe, was never really what Nanaki may have thought it to be, because Meghan is so calculating and so not a good person. And I think psychologically demented, or not demented, but just psychologically damaged. There's like something just not right with Meghan. And the things that I'm starting to understand about Meghan are really leading me to an understanding that makes it a lot deeper than I thought it to be. And there is a lot there that I have spoken to Nanaki about. And I'm going to make it my mission to really understand it, to really, truly understand it. But whatever you do, give Nanaki the grace and the peace she deserves, because she truly is a good woman. She really is a good woman. And I'm just grateful to be able to speak with her. As some of you know, I've spoken to Thomas Markle as well, and some things have been validated that I find extraordinary. Uh, and I'm just going to try to find the way to talk about it, talk about some things, um, and the speculations. Now, here's Mr. Otis. Here's look. Hi, Otis. Hi. Okay, Otis. Okay. Okay. So, I'm trying to find the words. I'm trying to find the words now. Folks, Meghan is not a good person. That is my opinion. And she has done some things that have been very hurtful to people who were close to her. And okay, give me a moment. Whew, getting hot. I get these moments. Um, one thing I want us all to think about is one thing that Thomas Markle said to me. Thomas Markle told me that Meghan Markle froze some of her eggs. Okay. There is some complexities around freezing eggs that could have repercussions around any future children that come from these frozen eggs. I'm just going to say that for now, but I want you to think about that. Okay? Just think about that. Now, more has to be investigated about that. That's because I don't know much about that, how that works, but that is my understanding. Now, so let's just look at what Dog Walking Mom 22 has said. We know she's not a very good person. Yeah, we know she's not a very good person. But one second. Someone wants to say hello to you all. This is my daughter.
Hi, guys.
This is the person that gives me a hard time almost every single day. Okay? So, bye.
Bye, love you.
Love you. So, Dog Walking Mom has said that we know that Meghan is not a good person, but you don't know some of the things that I know to know that she's not a good person. And that's why I say that. Because I think there are some things that this woman has done that you don't know about. And I think that we can know something, but not really know it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can know, but do you know how much of that you don't really know? If that makes sense. So Megan has done some things in her time before she met Harry that clearly the British royal family covered up. Clearly. But some of that information could still be coming out because there are still receipts around certain things. And we have to understand, I'm just trying to make sure I don't speak out of turn. I just want to be very careful with the things that I say. I'm sorry I'm speaking with such pauses right now, but I don't okay, want to be too boisterous about certain things because I'm yeah. So some of the things that I think Megan has done um put Harry in a very dangerous position. Now, I don't mean that like physically with an object or anything, but I just think psychologically put him in a very dangerous position, even around things that can be manifested. Like there are just things that I believe that can happen with the energy, the universal energies of the world. And I think Megan has a control, or she's doing something to him that I think can put Harry in a very bad position. And I know I've said this before, but now when I say it, like there's more information that I'm hearing in my head that I've been a privy to that have given me some validation to know just how not good this is for him. Now, I'm not saying feel sorry for Harry, absolutely not. But this is a situation right now with Harry that I don't think the royal family clearly are prepared to deal with. And you can see that by the fact that William, you know, he, he's not going to have anything to do with Harry. Absolutely not. Because I think he knows and understands just how bad it is. And that how no matter how sincere Harry comes across or how much they may or Harry may want to be back in relation or in contact with his family, the best you can do is just to not engage. Because if you engage, you are really jeopardizing the monarchy. So it it is very disturbing to me. Very disturbing. But we will say that for now. Now the other thing is there are talks about Megan's ex-boyfriend, Corey Vitiello. And we know that um, Megan was seeing him, or that was her boyfriend, when she was living in Canada. And clearly, one second. Clearly, Megan was not uh, seeing Corey, I think, when she was seeing him when she was in LA, more than likely dating Harry while with Corey still. Like, this woman is a known cheater. Okay. And Megan, my goodness, this woman has put together this whole scenario of her as ever brand of now wanting to show joy and wanting to sell her wares and wanting to come across as this really influential presenter of teas and cookies with her little bugs, as we've seen on the plate, while trying to make herself out to be this very high level influential woman of royalty who is presenting these things that you can now purchase. And I think when you see what Meghan has done with how she has treated even the men in her life, how she treated her ex-husband, how she has uh, tried to build what she is doing right now. Because what we have to understand is everything that Meghan had been planning even before Harry, all those things she's actually doing right now. And let me ask you, how well is it going for her right now? How well is it going for her? Not very well. And so I think Meghan is on a collapse of proportions that I don't think she even can fathom having. And she is like a trapped tiger. It's like she is, I think, in a position where she has nowhere to turn. Who is she going to turn to? Who is going to help her? Who is going to get her out of this conundrum of failure that she finds herself in, that she has been preparing and essentially most of her life for? Where's it going to lead? Where is Harry going to go? What is he doing? Like, what is his life going to be the next 5 years from now? So I'm of the mindset that a lot of things are going to be coming out that are going to be very detrimental to them. Now, let's look at the super chat from Operator Helper. Thank you very much. P. Dinah, I call that private summers. Okay, so I don't know what you mean by private summers. Am I missing something? What do you call private summers? With the exes maybe, or with the boyfriend. I'm taking it. You might mean, yeah. So Meghan has indulged. Now, the situation that I'm going to be putting out in my video that's going to be coming out is about Meghan and her connection to Prince Andrew, and the whole debacle around Meghan being called to testify in the Prince Andrew case that we all know is no longer. But the fact that Meghan knew uh, this Gulfrey woman, this Virginia Gulfrey girl that passed away, the things that Meghan did, the connections that Meghan had to people who were in those circles with Jeffrey Epstein, and how she knew, and how the attorney for Prince Andrew had, I mean, we saw it. I did a video on it where he put out that he was going to depose Meghan. Why are you deposing Meghan Markle for a case around the things that Prince Andrew has done? What does this attorney know about Meghan that would make him want to depose her? Well, the only thing it could be are things around Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew. Why would I mean, seriously, think about that. How in the world do you have that woman's name in the legal documents to say that you want to perhaps just depose this woman because of some things she may have seen. And there'll be more in the video that I'm putting out, but I'm just trying to understand, like, let's really let that marinate a little bit. And let me just think a little bit about that with some things that I found out today about Meghan to understand. Yeah. And there are receipts. There are receipts. Now, I don't personally, at this moment, have anything that I can show as a receipt, but I can say with almost 100% certainty that there are receipts out there that the British royal family more than likely knew about, that they have been able to scrub before the deputy dog investigators, sleuths, internet people go out there and find the information. That's what I'm saying. So we just receipts of what? This is what? Okay. Receipts of Meghan's involvement with the likes of Prince Andrew. There are receipts. Okay. Now, so let me ask you all a question because I'm curious to know what you think. How do you think Meghan and Harry are doing right now? How do you think they are doing? Do you think all is well in their world? Do you think Meghan is excited about selling her rosé wine and excited about the revenue that's been generated from the sale of this wine? How well do you think it's going? What are your thoughts on this exiled royal couple? What are your thoughts? Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not well. Megan still wants William. She could go, yeah, that's not going to happen. She's a flop and knows it. Yeah. They've been too quiet. Yes, they've been very quiet, haven't they? And you know what I find out that's very interesting as well are some things about Doria. I find that Doria is way too quiet. And you know what they always say about the quiet ones, right? The people who you think are really shy, and like those are the ones you really have to pay attention to, are the shy ones. And that's the thing. If Meghan writes a book, no one will believe it. But I think the person that is putting information out there that has the receipts should write the book so that that would be, or anybody with receipts. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people that have had crossed her paths that have receipts. But Meghan, I think people won't believe her book because that she will try to put a spin on things. But I think she'll also say things about the British royal family that are lies, because we've seen her make up lies about the royal family. But what I find interesting is that Meghan Markle has found herself in an extraordinary position that she completely blew. She blew an opportunity of proportions that, I mean, are so huge. I just don't understand how you could, and I think it speaks to that just how she is as a person in general before meeting Harry, and her ambition and the things that drive her, and how she was always seeking out this position that she finally got. And you know how they say, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. And I think that's the position that Meghan is in right now. I think she's tried so hard to get to the position that she's in now. And now I think she's feeling kind of sorry that she's in this position because she sees it's not going very well. And she'll never really want to admit that to herself. You know, there's just certain people who always want to say, oh, the world is wonderful. It's great. You know, like there's buildings falling down behind them. There's craziness happening all around them. But you see, they're like, oh, it's good. It's all good. It's all good. They will never let you know it's not going good. And that's the thing. You know, when you, and I think this is why Meghan falls so flat all the time, because every great story has a tragedy. Every great story has a comeback. Every great story is going to have adversity to certain things that happen in life, that you pick yourselves back up, and then you know you overcome the things that have broken you, and then you find a way out. But when you're someone like Meghan, where you don't acknowledge your brokenness, you don't acknowledge that you've been beat up by things that are wrong, things that have been wronged by you, or things that you may have done to wrong people, if you never acknowledge it, like you don't, your story is always going to be flat, because you don't, your storyline is like this: happy, 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 happy. I'm happy, 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 happy. Like you're always happy. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing, like I don't need to learn nothing. I'm just happy, happy. Everything's good. That's Meghan. She doesn't have the adversity to the things that didn't go well for her. You know, she creates a lot of her own problems, and she wants to make out like all is still good in the world and there are no problems, even though clearly she has to see that it's not going well for her. It's not going well at all for her. And yes, they have this redemption arc. They like it, yeah. And you know, everybody in life is going to face a lot of hardships. And that's what makes your life, you know, your individual own story to tell, to give out these experiences to show how you've been able to overcome things that may have happened to you. But Meghan is someone who doesn't want to acknowledge these things in life, and this is why she's flat, she's fake, she's not very there's not much depth to her, she's very artificial, she is one-sided. There's no, like, you can't get to anything of substance with her. This is why I've always said she will always fail. Everything she does, she will fail. She will fail. She will fail. And she failed at marrying into the royal family. If you think about it, she failed because they don't want nothing to do with her. They want nothing to do with this woman. So she's failed at that. The thing that she had been working so hard for most of her life, she finally got there to the golden gates of royalty and failed. So her her whole life essentially has come full circle in terms of, yeah, she worked all this way, did all these things, and where is she now? There's no success. There's no overcoming the things that she may have had to do when she, you know, to get to where she's at now. Like, it's not good for her, and it will never be good for her. She has a lot of atoning to do for all the really not so good things she has done to people way before Harry was even part of the picture. And I got to go back and look at this story though, but you know, Harry and Meghan met each other when they were in Turkey, like in early 2015, not in June, July. it was in early 2015. Like, even the story about their meeting has been manipulated. And that's just part of it. And I think even the children are part of that manipulation. I think the children are a part of that manipulation. I think that's why there's been so many people saying things that they've been saying. We've all speculated on it. We've all looked at, like, I don't understand how you could be in your 40s and have a miscarriage and then have another child right after that. The discrepancies in the birth of Archie, getting pregnant and carrying these children so effortlessly and so quickly. Like, certain things are starting to make sense about the things we've been talking about. It doesn't jive. It doesn't jive. And there, to me, has been clear manipulation of this woman in her childbearing. And there is a lot that could be detrimental to the British monarchy because of Meghan's attachment to it. And I think part of that is why Harry will never be welcome back, because he has to be a part of that sacrifice. He has to. Like, you've done and said too much. So I'm just very at a moment now where I want to go back and do some more research. I want to go look at some more things with some of the info that I have, and I want to really try to understand or find some things that I may have missed, and maybe others have missed as well. Yeah. But remember what I said earlier. About the eggs that Meghan had frozen. She had 2 types of eggs frozen. 2 types. Yeah. Just yeah, and I don't blame Prince William either. I don't blame William one bit. I think William knows way more than we do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say he knows most certainly a lot more than we know. And he's being very smart about what he is going to do. And Harry does not understand how much he has been manipulated, how he has been bamboozled. They're going to have to get those monarchy PR machines. Like, they better leave William alone. That's all I got to say. You better leave my William and my Catherine alone. That's all I got to say. Don't you dare mess with William and Catherine. Mm-mm. No, we cannot have that. So I'm just going to, for the sake of not saying too much, let you all know that I'm going to just leave my chat at this. I'm going to think about some things that I've said today, because I think I've said a lot that if you're really listening, you will understand what I'm really, really saying. Okay? But remember, be kind and understand that Meghan has done things to people in her life that, we need to give grace to those that were in her life. And I'm very grateful for getting to speak with an ex-friend of Meghan's. And we will talk about this in more detail, shall we? Thank you for all of your support for the super chats today. Oh, I've got one more I must read before I go. Thank you, Lizzie B. Thank you, Lizzie B, for the gifted P Dinah membership. So as I said, if you want to see my videos with my time with Lady C, they're part of my member videos. And thank you, Lizzie B, for always gifting the membership. It's so kind of you, and for your help with the lives. You gifted 5 memberships now, Lizzie B. Thank you, Lizzie B. You're so sweet. And thank you for the other lives, the super chats as well, and for all of your comments here. Going through some of them. Yeah, freezing eggs is very expensive. You wouldn't be able to afford it. Exactly. It's expensive. And it's a process to it that I think we don't really. Yes, there's 2 types. You're confused. There's 2 types of frozen eggs. Can anyone guess? Can you figure it out? The 2 types of frozen eggs? It's very simple. It's very simple. That's the trivia question. Eggs and embryos, embryo and egg. Yes, we guess, says someone. So yeah, I think you have. Yes, someone said it. Yep, I see it. There's 2 types. There's 2 types. Fertilized and unfertilized. Yep. But it's a lot more. There's a lot more to it. Yeah. So we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up in another live. Okay. I just want to be very careful with things that I say. I just don't want to say too much. And we'll talk soon. Thank you guys for being here and for all your support. I love you all. See you in the next one. Bye.